Lead story on CVM TV today looks at the heavy matter of constitutional reform. Now, I know it is not sexy, but I know that it has been in the news over the past several days, perhaps few weeks, to be fair. And what we have now in front of us is the report from the Constitutional Reform Committee setting out just what they intend to amend the Jamaican Constitution to reflect. It is even more than an amendment. It's a new constitution that we're working towards, and it's the continuation of a process that began in 1991. So, what are the changes being proposed by our by the Constitutional Reform Committee? What are the changes that our legislators are going to ask to endorse? What are the changes to the Constitution that we people are going to be asked to vote on in a referendum? We're going to do two shows on this issue. In the first, I'm going to go through what it is that the Reform Committee has proposed. And in the second show, I'll hear from two members of the Constitutional Reform Committee who sat and made these recommendations, the reasoning behind the recommendations they have made. So it's about educating you about the reform process and then hearing from the stakeholders about why they ultimately. It's why you love leading, because you get information and understanding right here. Let's start the show. Welcome to Lead Story here on CVM TV. Now, as I told you, today's show is going to take a different form. I'm going to be going through the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee. 15 members sat, and they came up with some recommendations. Those recommendations were put into a report. That report was sent to Cabinet. Cabinet approved that report. That report was then tabled as a ministry paper in the House of Representatives. A ministry paper is simply a document that outlines government policy. Now, that ministry paper is then going to form the basis of a decision by the House of Representatives, and it sets out just what the changes to the Constitution as proposed or as recommended are. Let's walk slowly, because this process of constitutional reform did not begin in 2020. The formation of this 15-member Constitutional Reform Committee, it's a process that can be traced all the way back to 1991, when the Joint Select
family, you hear the news? T20 cricketer come back a Sabina. So me want to come back to Sabina. From South Africa team I come to contest with T20 squad. So me want to give them on support by coming back to Sabina. Enough prizes and surprises. So please come back to Sabina.
Watch all 3 matches live on CVM TV.
bounces. It's a wonderful finish from Luis Chavez.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Jamaica's favorite drama, Your Guilty Pleasure.
All that having a baby now is going to do for you is make you a prisoner of this apartment.
Long run shot, kid.
Royal Palm Estate is on CVM every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m.
Hey Carlton, what's up? Welcome to my corner office.
Definitely, Circus, definitely.
What are we doing today? Are you here to fix the plane or fly the plane?
Maybe a mixture of both because as a top flight pilot, we can do both of them.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Too clean for be a top flight pilot.
Alright, we can get things dirty.
We can get it dirty.
Cesar Huerta pounces. It's a wonderful finish from Luis Chavez.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVM TV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
On this week's episode of Cooking with Love, this you don't want to miss. So Jamil Foster is here.
When me I go through my dark times and I see we hear the music inspire me so much I feel confident in myself and pick myself up and keep moving and not giving up.
Yeah.
When I see the power of the music, I decide to say, yo, this is what I'm gonna do.
Take a tread in the hills like Tarzan, bring me problems to Jah. Yeah man, and them one sword them a go fall pan fancy.
Represent to that one.
Sizzla Kalonji, live in Kingston, Jamaica.
Living in Rome, my people, how safe you are. Away from your home, I say.
Sizzla, live.
Yeah, crush them. From big long, I don't want them records. Why don't know on them? Why them from that till sun out on them? Gorillas come out on them. Beer and run out on them. Why don't know on them? From that till sun out on them.
MSW Events 10th year anniversary, and we proudly present our signature mass wedding 14-14-14. This June, Jamaica will witness 24 deserving couples become one in an unforgettable ceremony. Save the date as we embark on an enchanting journey to June 14, 2024.
I'm Celine Gordon, host of Holy Road.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy John Mark Wigan, host on the show Holy Road. Listen, people need to know what's happening in the churches and in ministry in all of Jamaica. It's an absolute blessing. We're really excited to share this.
Tune in to CVM, see it happen.
World family, You know hear the news? T20 cricketer come back a Sabina. So me want to come back to Sabina. For South Africa team I come test with T20 squad. So me want to give them support by coming back to Sabina. Enough prizes and surprises. So please come back to Sabina.
Watch all 3 matches live on CVM TV.
Welcome to Lead Story here on the CVM TV. You know, as I today's show is going to take a different form. I'm going to be going through the report of the Constitutional Reform Committee. 15 members sat and they came up with some recommendations. Those recommendations were put into a report. That report was sent to Cabinet. Cabinet approved that report. That report was then tabled as a ministry paper in the House of Representatives. A ministry paper is simply a document that outlines government policy. But that ministry paper is then going to form the basis of a decision by the House of Representatives, and it sets out, the ministry paper does, just the changes to the Constitution as proposed or as recommended are. Now let's walk slowly, because this process of constitutional reform did not begin in 2023 with the formation of these 15-member Constitutional Reform Committee. It's a process that can be traced all the way back to 1991, when the Joint Select Committee on Constitutional and Electoral Reform, JSCCER, was formed to do two things. Well, to do a few things. One was to review the existing constitution as it was and make recommendations for its reform. Now, that JSCER, Joint Select Committee on Constitutional and Electoral Reform, began its work in 1992. It submitted a draft report in 1993. Then that draft report became a final report in 1994. That report moved from 1994 to the Parliament in 1995, where the Parliament accepted the recommendations.
What's your story? What's your sign? We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVM TV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family. When the food speeds, we dance. When the vibe nice.
The time by Grace. Taste that moves you is
6:45.
3 rows before Jamaica is what we are being told. One, a final court of appeal being built here at the cost of hundreds of millions of dollars. Two, remain with the UK-based Privy Council. I almost said remain with the evil, you know, depending on certain people, but nobody can question the judgments of the Privy Council. I haven't heard that in the mix. And three, whether or not it's not time, long overdue even, to subscribe fully to the Caribbean Court of Justice and go beyond interpreting matters under the Treaty of Tragoramas, which we currently are signatories to where the CCJ is concerned. I have Dr. Baziki Thame with me, and I have John Clark. John, I come to you because I want to get from you a sense of the positions taken by both leaders. Holness now putting this one in the mix about a final court owned, built by Jamaica as an alternative to the Privy Council. If we go there, Golding saying CCJ or nothing. How do these positions reconcile with what the country seemingly wants to achieve as part of constitutional reform?
Well, when I listened to the Prime Minister, what I heard from him is that Jamaica should have a final appellate court, a Jamaican final court. And that is his suggestion, but he wants the people to decide. Now, the Privy Council, in one sense, is Jamaica's current final appellate court. And if the CCJ is the choice, it will also be Jamaica's final appellate court. But the important purpose for an appellate court is for the citizens to be able to bring grievances in relation to Court of Appeal judgments, to have them adjudicated by superior judges. Superior not necessarily because they're infallible, but superior in terms of jurisdiction and what is of concern to me, and of grave concern, especially because at JFG we would receive numerous letters from prisoners who are in prison and who say, yes, we have a serious concern with how our judgment was dealt with by the Court of Appeal. How do we afford the $30 million that we need to do just to get justice at the Privy Council? And for many of these Jamaicans, the access door of justice is closed, slamming their face, simply on the financial criteria. And one would hope that our leaders, when they're making this decision, would appreciate that there are Jamaicans right now as we speak tonight who are in prison, who say they want a final appellate court to decide their issue, but they just don't have the bread, they don't have the butter to access the final appellate court. So whilst we diddle and daddle, we must never forget that there are people whose very liberty, and in some cases life, because you have Jamaicans who have died in custody, awaiting justice, whose very life depends on this answer. Now, if they can't afford to go to the final appellate court, what use is it to them?
Yes.
And that is the ultimate question. And then when we hear this discussion about a Jamaican final appellate court housed in Jamaica, then one wonders about the criticism that was leveled against the CCJ, that the Caribbean is so small that we all know each other. So if the Caribbean is so small, isn't Jamaica smaller than the Caribbean?
Yes, absolutely. But hold it right there, because Dr. Thame, here's the thing. The issue of how to decide what to do, whether to keep what we have, take on something new, whether that be the CCJ or something else. The PNP say no to a referendum. Holness, warm to a referendum. He thinks that's the obvious place to go to get an indicative instruction from the people. Where do you stand?
So I just want to respond to John Clark first, in that the idea that money plays a role in the court system.
Yes.
You know,
and in the pursuit of justice,
Exactly. Once you are able to hire a better quality lawyer, you are already protected under the law. So there's always this inequality there, and we should always remember that. In relation to the question of referendum, I think that what we have heard from the Prime Minister is not just in relation to the CCJ, but there is a tying of a number of issues, not just whether we are leaving the monarchy, but also the final court. It includes issues like the Buggery law, etc. And there may be, some political calculations about the direction it would go in if we tie a set of issues together. I'm not sure how it is that, they imagine that playing out. But the question of people's inclusion in political decision-making is, of course, at hand. I think that's where you have an interest. Referendums are one measure, right? And I think that in Jamaica, we should be thinking more critically, and I had hoped that this constitutional reform discussion would go in this direction about how to realize participatory democracy, how to involve people in more decisions that the state is, taking, and especially decisions about the economy, because there is a way that we think that there are spaces that so-called experts alone can, participate in when, as it relates to legislature, the economy, etc. It's everyday people that are experiencing the results of decisions.
But don't everyday people, on that point, John Clark, don't everyday people need to be guided as to what their choices are? Because if you look at the members, the constituent parts of the Constitutional Reform Committee, you have the most eminent constitutional lawyer in the country's history, Dr. Lloyd Barnett, still going strong at 92 years old. We have the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. She's a former member of the bench. She's been at all levels in the judiciary. You have youth leaders. You have members representing faith-based communities. You have people with the intellectual gravitas that you would trust to be able to guide. Isn't that a significant part of any arrangement? So you hear from the people in consultations, you allow the experts to do their thing, then you move it on to the parliament and ask the parliamentarians to represent what their constituents want. Isn't this the right way to go about a process like this?
I see nothing wrong with going about the process in that way, but the question that asked Dr. Thiem was about as it relates to the referendum. And if we have the people's representative in Parliament, and the people's representative agreed, I believe was it in 1994-95, that this is a direction one day will hope to go with the CCJ.
Yes.
But then now in 2024, we're hearing a kind of a change in position, and one wonders what caused that change. Bearing in mind that the first time when we had the Privy Council, as a young nation, the people of Jamaica, that is the grassroots people, did not have a vote to say we wanted the Privy Council.
But Dr. They spoke of them also not being politically savvy enough, which is true at that time.
But even...
No, that's not what I meant specifically on the question of federation and the particular manipulation that would have gone into them siding with the idea that we should be suspicious of our Caribbean neighbors.
Yes. Finish the point now, John.
Yes, I'm saying that the point that the people's representative cannot make a determination and cannot, on behalf of the people who in fact elected them to be the people's representative and who in fact caused them many different days to sit down in Parliament and vote for laws for them to change a position which was never our own position, but which was imported into our own framework. That the Privy Council is our final appellate court. Why can't the people's representative change that? But ultimately, the Prime Minister said, and he had said it before on the political stage, that this issue should be decided by a referendum. And one would have hoped that the referendum, even if that's a choice, that both political parties will not have this issue of the final court dancing around.
I have to take the break. We can finish it up after these. This is Lead Story talking constitutional reform, what to do where the matter of our final court of appeal is concerned.
Jamaica's favorite drama, your guilty pleasure.
All that having a baby now is going to do for you is make you a prisoner of this apartment.
Long run shot, kid.
Royal Palm Estate is on CVM every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m.
Cesar Huerta pounces. It's a wonderful finish from Luis Chavez.
With a dash of love and a touch of flavor, welcome back to eLive. Today we look at the Spur Tree Spice's highly anticipated product launch. Spice up the thing.
I think Spur Tree Spice is really just an extension of brand Jamaica. When you're in the store in the Bronx, I was in Chicago studying for a couple of years, and whenever I went in and saw the green and yellow and red of Spur Tree Spice, when I saw the colors of Spur Tree Spice, I felt like a little piece of Jamaica was there with every taste.
Spur Tree is an agricultural company. And we must say that because oftentimes we divorce agriculture from manufacturing, and it should not happen. Agriculture is just not primary production. Agriculture is what we see before us in all of these products from Spur Tree. So today we celebrate the rebrand of our major agricultural enterprise. in our country. Quite frankly, you've heard it all before in relation to Mohan. But it would be remiss of me not to say just how exceedingly proud I am of the journey of this company and his leadership in that regard.
Spur Spices is revolutionizing the flavor game with a bold new move. Building on the success of their popular wet seasoning line, they're now expanding their horizons with their introduction of dry seasonings.
And as you all know, over 90% of our revenue is from export, is generated from export sales. With these new items, we'll increase our production capacity by over 30% and our staff complement by 25%.
These products that represent brand Jamaica are poised to make a real impact.
The journey towards the launch today is merely a reflection of what I have seen as the dedication to excellence, innovation, and importantly, sustainability, which has shone through in every aspect of these products. From sourcing the finest ingredients and even going as far as getting into the farming business so that you can ensure quality control and consistency of supply, to employing state-of-the-art manufacturing processes. Spur Tree has spared no effort in ensuring that each product embodies the highest standards of quality and authenticity of what makes this truly Jamaican. And by investing in Jamaican resources, Jamaican people, Jamaican products, Spur Tree is not only creating jobs and fostering economic development, but also empowering local communities and uplifting livelihoods of Jamaicans. And for that, we're truly thankful and grateful.
That's all for today's eLive segment. Thanks for shaking things up with us. I'm Navinia Beckford.
Carlton, what's up? Welcome to my corner office.
Definitely, Circus, definitely.
What are we doing today? Are you here to fix the plane or fly the plane?
Maybe a mixture of both, because as a top flight pilot, we can do both of them.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Two